Always honest, but I'm going to be brutally honest this time. Some of my Thunder fan friends are not going to like how cold-bloodedly honest I'm about to be, because the truth is the Thunder team that I love, that I've loved for the last 3 years, is playing a dangerous game, and I do not love it. I said in the arena yesterday to Rashad McCants, big Spurs fan, Wemby fan, I said, I love your Spurs in Game 6 in San Antonio because that's just the way the Thunder do business. Then they'll roll right out of that and go home and win Game 7, just as they did in conference semifinals against Denver. They went to Denver and they lost 119 to 107, so they lost by 12. And they went right home, thanks to Russell Westbrook. Way to go, Russ Westbrook. They went right home for Game 7, and they won 125 to 93. What a turnaround that was. Then in the NBA Finals against the Indiana Pacers, Game 6 at Indiana, they lost by 17. They lost 108 to 91, and they went right home for Game 7 a couple days later, and they won 103 to 91. So I said, this is just the way they do business. This is their DNA, that for some reason they got this at home. And that's their mentality. That's their approach. They actually weirdly saved themselves in Game 6 because they trust themselves so completely in Game 7s in front of their home crowd. So I thought here we were going again until I witnessed what I just witnessed in Game 6 at San Antonio. I did not love it. I saw nothing to even remotely like. They didn't give me a shred to hang on to for Game 7. Well, that will work. Nothing worked. And I have said this about this team. No great team I have ever closely observed, and I've seen a whole bunch of great teams, and I do consider this a great team over a 3-year span, dominating the Western Conference. Still heavy favorites to win it all this year. But I've never seen a great team with the capability of, from night to night, game to game, looking so bad, so overmatched, so lifeless, especially on defense. This was an ass-kicking tonight of the highest proportion. And truly, even though I said Thunder in 7, even though I said Spurs will win 6, Thunder in 7, I didn't see this coming. I thought they'd at least be competitive for 3.5 quarters. That's what I thought. And that little tiny voice, the very back of my head, deep down in my psyche, that little voice kept saying, remember what Wemby did at the end of Game 5 when he was getting his ass kicked in Oklahoma City? Remember what he did? He leaned over and whispered to his 2 goons coming in to replace him with 2:13 left, Biyombo and Plumlee. He whispered to both of them, go get somebody for me. Go do my dirty work for me. I thought it was gutless. I thought it was wimpish, babyish. And then he ducks the media, and he kind of ducked the media tonight. Answered, I think, maybe 1.5 questions on the floor, and then ran. I thought maybe the Spurs pushed the wrong buttons in the Thunder tonight, as in pro Thunder buttons, as in there was that skirmish early where Vassell blocked Chet and he's screaming in his face. He's a fake tough guy, Vassell. He can shrink on the road. They got one tough guy on that whole team, and that's Castle. One. And by the way, if Castle wanted to step outside with Dort, my money's on Dort. If they want to go out into the alley behind the arena, see who gets the best of whom, just the two of them, my money is on Lou Dort in that one. So Oklahoma City's got a tough guy too, and they've got a tough team mentality, and they've got high basketball character and a very strong basketball backbone. And I thought when Vassell is screaming at Chet, should have gotten attacked for it, for taunting, should have, pushing him, shoving him. Oh, it's Chet. Yeah, you're a big, bad, tough guy. That's all you got? Come on, man. But I thought maybe the Thunder would say, okay, if that's how you want to play it, watch this. I thought it might be that flashpoint watch this moment where the pride kicked in and SGA said, I'll show you tough. And they did. They fought back pretty hard, and Jalen Williams, the other Jay Will, had 3 wide open threes, and if he just hit a couple of them, it would have been a 1-point game at halftime. So I thought, okay, so they hung in for a half. And then the third quarter happened, and it was just all-time shameful. The Oklahoma City Thunder quit in the third quarter. They gave up a 20-0 run, the longest, worst run they've ever given up in their playoff history. And what tore me up was they wouldn't even get back on defense. San Antonio could just outrun them up the floor. Outrun, bunny, bunny, bunny. And it just knocked me out of my seat, man. Made me question everything I'm watching. You can't do that. They lost the third quarter, a quarter that they have owned all season and all playoffs to this point. They lost the third quarter 32-13. It's just all-time pathetic, and it had no championship feel to it. Again, the Thunder are weird. They can look worse than any great team I've ever seen on any given night. And I will remind you, as I cling to little bits and pieces here, I will remind you that Game 4 at San Antonio, they're up 2-1. They lost 103-82, and they stunk. They looked lifeless. They looked overmatched. And I said, okay, so they'll go home and win Game 5. And I was a little shaky, because if the alien's going to play like that, then I'd say, well, it's going to be a problem. But the alien got his ass kicked in Oklahoma City by Hartenstein. Ass kicked. 0 for 5 from 3. No front running, no fake tough guys that night. They were just fake. And Wemby was an alien hoax. That's what he was that night. And this is impossible. But this is what this team is capable of. They went from scoring 82 points to scoring 127 at home in Game 5.